Hey everyone, I'm finally back. I know a few of you have been wondering why there haven't been any uploads since the 25th of October, and well, let's just say my device decided to take an early retirement. Yup, it broke down and I had to send it for repair. But hey, we're back now, everything's fixed up and just in time too because Call of Duty Mobile just dropped another interesting limited time event called the Collapse Mutation. In today's video, I'll walk you through exactly how to complete this event as fast as possible. Explain how it works. Now, this main screen might look a bit confusing at first glance, so let's break it down. You've got several key sections here: Start, Kalina's Reward, Otherworld Exodus Rewards, Collection Gallery, and Factory. Each one connects to the others in some way, so understanding them early on is the best way to avoid wasting time or resources later. Let's start with the obvious, that big yellow start button at the bottom right corner. This is where you'll actually begin the minigame portion of Collapse Mutation. But before you jump in, it's good to know what everything else on this screen does. Right next to it on the left side, you will see Kalina's Reward. This is your story quest section where you will progress through action levels and unlock rewards tied to Kalina. Every time you complete a stage or reach a new level, you'll move up in action level. Right now, mine's showing level 7. Below that, there's Otherworld Exodus Rewards. This is where you'll find exclusive cosmetic items like G Case Impenetrable Wall, other epic weapon blueprint shown on screen. Other playable characters are also unlocked via these progress-based rewards. These rewards are linked to other sections of the event, so you will unlock them as you keep progressing through the missions and production systems. Next, we've got Collection Gallery. This section is basically your progress tracker. It shows your current T-doll collection rate, meaning how many character units or dolls you've managed to unlock or upgrade. It's also where you can check out each one's stats and abilities. And finally, the Factory. This one is your mining or production system. Here, you'll be producing new T-dolls using different in-game resources. You'll notice icons at the top: ammunition, rations, manpower, and parts. All of them are used to build new dolls in the factory. You will be able to collect these items through daily missions, event matches, or by completing Kalina's story levels. Each of these sections connects with the other. You will earn resources in battles, use them in the factory to build new dolls, check your progress in the gallery, and unlock rewards in the story quest tab. It's like a cycle that keeps rewarding you the more you play. It might look a bit overwhelming when you first open it, but once you understand what each tab does, it's actually really well structured. Let me explain them in depth. The Kalina's Rewards section, this is where the main progression of the Collapse Mutation event takes place. Think of this area as the story hub of the entire collab. You'll be following along with different story missions. Each stage here represents a different part of the collab storyline, like Battle 1, the Rift, or the Tearing Part 1 and 2. You can either read through the story or skip directly to the missions if you're mainly focused on rewards. Every time you complete a stage, you will earn items, resources, or cosmetic that feed directly into your event progress. To unlock all the chapters and rewards in this section, you will need to raise your action level. You can find your current level displayed at the bottom left corner of the screen. Tap on the action level button to open your progress menu. Here you'll see several categories that contribute to your level. T-doll collection tracks how many dolls you've produced and collected through the factory. Target practice focuses on completing combat-related challenges. Collapse fluid tracks resources you've gathered from specific event activities. It complete automatic. Protocol rebuild relates to sticker or mission-based objectives. Tap on any of them to see your current stats and identify which tasks are still pending. Completing these tasks consistently will raise your action level, which in turn unlocks more of Kalina's missions and rewards. Let's talk about the Otherworld Exodus Rewards section. This is where all your grind across the event finally starts paying off. This tab essentially acts as the main reward center for the collaboration, and it's directly tied to your progress in both the factory and the collection gallery. To unlock all the rewards featured here, you'll need to produce and collect every Girls Frontline collaboration character through the factory. Each character you obtain contributes to your overall collection progress, and that's what determines how far along the reward track you can go. The reward milestones themselves are spread across various tiers. Early on, you'll unlock smaller rewards like event stickers, credits, and the wingsuit, SF Industrial. But as you continue progressing, you'll start getting more exclusive items such as Girls Frontline, Somi, the C4, Symphonic Night skin, and even the T-doll trainer, UMP45 character card. Of course, the big highlight here is the final grand reward, the GKS Impenetrable Wall Blueprint. This one is not only a standout visually, but also a part of the crossover set, making it one of the most collectible items from this event. Now let's move on to one of the most important parts of this entire event, the factory. This is where all your character production happens, and it's directly tied to your progress in both the collection gallery and the Exoverse rewards sections. Once you enter the factory, you will see two main production types, T-doll production and heavy production. T-doll production is mainly for lower rarity units, while heavy production focuses on higher rarity or more exclusive characters. The difference comes down to the resources used and the chances of obtaining rare units. Now to actually start producing, you'll need to assign resources like manpower, ammunition, rations and parts. These are the 4 basic materials required for every production formula. You can collect these materials by completing daily missions, permanent event tasks, or even some of the smaller mini games that appear throughout the event. When you're ready to begin, tap the formula button next to the produce one time option. This will bring up a list of weapon classes such as AR, RF, MG, SMG, and HG. Each one requires a slightly different resource ratio. For example, assault rifles may need more ammunition, while machine guns will demand a much higher combination of manpower and parts. You can also tap apply formula to lock in your desired combination, making it easier to produce multiple units quickly. If you've gathered enough resources, you can even use the batch produce option to craft multiple T-dolls at once. This saves a lot of time if you're grinding for collection progress or trying to unlock specific collaboration characters. Now there's also a second mode, heavy production, which requires a rarer material called replacement cores. These are special items that have a chance to drop from mini-game missions. The drop rate seems pretty low right now, but based on early gameplay, it looks like the probability might increase as you play the higher difficulty levels of the minigame. Now let's take a look at the playable characters and skills section. This is where you actually choose which operator you'll be controlling during the event. You'll have a selection of HK416, UMP45, M870 and KAR98K, each bringing a slightly different combat style to the table. At the very beginning, you'll only have access to HK416, who serves as the starter character for everyone. The other units like UMP45 or KAR98K will unlock as you progress through the event or meet specific conditions through the factory and collection systems. On the right hand side of the screen, you'll see the skill selection panel. Each character comes with multiple abilities, but you'll only have one available at the start. For example, HK416 begins with the thermobaric grenade, which deals instant explosive damage to enemies within range. As you continue clearing stages, you will unlock additional skills such as the blazing grenade, which leaves behind a fiery area of damage, and the cluster grenade, which splits into multiple smaller explosions after impact. Now let's move on to the gameplay and upgrade system, which is where most of the event's progression comes together. As soon as you click start in the first round, try to collect as many stars as possible. Make sure to keep an eye on the timer and don't run away from the enemy, as it might hard to collect that stars. Now as soon as the first round finishes, you need to pick cards. Your objective is to build a strong team by collecting and upgrading character cards, and trick is the merge system. In the early stages, you'll mostly be working with 2-star units, which are fairly common, so don't stress too much about perfect synergy at the beginning. Focus on building a balanced team and collecting as many duplicates as you can to trigger merges. As you progress, you'll start encountering higher rarity cards like 3-star and 4-star T-dolls, which provide much higher attribute bonuses and can completely shift your team's strength curve. To increase a character's power, you'll need to merge 3 identical cards. Once merged, that unit's stats automatically increase, improving both damage and survivability. The stronger the card's rarity, the bigger the stat jump you'll see after a merge. It's also important to pay attention to card classes and types. Each card falls under specific categories such as SMG, LMG, AR or HG, and each of these interacts differently with your team composition. For instance, power type cards tend to deal higher raw damage, while support type or tower type cards provide more utility or defensive benefits. Understanding which class works best for your current setup makes a huge difference when you're trying to survive tougher stages or bosses later on. And that's pretty much everything for this first part of the Collapse Mutation Event guide. I just wanted to break it down slowly so you guys can actually understand how the event functions before jumping into the complicated stuff. In my next video, I'll be going over the best card combinations, the ferry section, and some advanced strategies that'll help you clear every stage way faster. Now for the current gameplay, I've only had a few hours to play around today, but here's what I've learned so far. If your goal is just to unlock the GKS Impenetrable Wall skin, don't overthink it. Simply head over to the factory and produce as many T-dolls as possible. Your reward progress mainly depends on the total number of T-dolls you've created, so the fastest method is to use batch pros repeatedly. By doing that alone, I managed to unlock UMP45 pretty early, and within just a few hours, I already hit level 28 in the reward progression. Give me one more day and I'll bring you the complete guide with the perfect card setups, fairy builds and battle strategies that can guarantee wins in almost every fight. Till then, keep grinding and I'll see you all in the next one.